presents because children need presents because they didn't get Christmas.
The interesting thing about this is it's not a unique problem that has to be brought to the attention of people. And when I've explained to my peers, hey, when they ask, hey, what'd you do last week for Christmas? And I explain the charity and what we did, they immediately say, I want to be involved. How do I get involved? Because they obviously, as parents, see the effect on their children, how this could be helpful to their children, and want to get involved immediately. So the sales pitch is pretty straightforward, which is it's a dual mission. On the one hand, we're helping the needy, which is always good. But on the other hand, we're teaching our kids, the next generation, about why it's important to give back and how much fun you can actually have giving back. And the light bulb goes off pretty bright and pretty quick on why they would want to get involved with that.
To watch it all come to fruition is mind-boggling, because you're talking at this particular time, I think we had over 500 gifts for 143 families, and you're separated by the towns, and when I first walk in the day of the event, and I'm setting everything up with our board, with our members, I'm just like, this is going to be chaos. It's just going to be chaos with all the kids running around. And like any other good cause, it came together like clockwork.
Because we delivered to a house where there was a little boy there, home alone pretty much. There was, another parent who couldn't come out, but he was almost the exact same age as my son. And you could tell it was a little bit awkward, but when we delivered and had to bring the food and gifts into the kitchen of this little boy, and to watch and be able to actually see exactly what we were trying to accomplish, of my son who was 8, getting the lesson of looking into another little boy's eye who was 8 years old, and be able to see the condition of where they were living and how much they needed it, where we knew this food was all that was going into the house. There was no sign of any other presence within the house. And for me to be able to watch the interaction of these 2 8-year-old boys, nothing more could have said about what we were trying to do, other than that just few seconds of the glances between each of these young boys who didn't know each other. And all they came out with is, my son knew he was doing something for another little boy who needed it. And this little boy looked at my son and knew there was some stranger who didn't know why, probably will later on, or hopefully will, was doing something good for him, who he never met before in his life. And just in those few seconds, I guess, it brought it back, and it set the tone, and I kind of was able to forget about all the organizational stuff of Families for Christmas, and now we were back to the simple mission. A family being helped, and a family being taught a lesson.
My wife and one of my sons went to the door with an armload of things, and I was trailing behind them. And the woman of the house opened the door and let us in, and was remarkably gracious and grateful for the things that we were bringing to her. And I said, hold on a second, I gotta go back to the truck and get another box. And she couldn't believe the fact that we were like a train coming through with multiple boxes of things that she needed. And handed my wife a card on the way out. And I, to the point where you only interact with this person for 3 minutes, but gave her a hug on the way out and said, I hope you have a great Christmas, and I hope it goes well for you. She was extremely grateful. Verbally, extremely grateful. Physically, you could tell that she was grateful as well. So we got back into the truck, and I said to my wife, I think there's probably something special in that card if you want to read it. I don't know if we do it now or what. So my wife, being my wife, had to open it immediately. And it explained, the woman spent time sitting down and writing a very heartfelt thank you note that you could tell took time, and it described her situation, which was a challenging situation. And it brought my wife to tears, and so my boys in the back seat were asking why Mom was crying, and I went through that fact that this woman and her family were in a tough time, and the fact that we had the ability to give this tiny gesture of help, she was extremely thankful for, and that was the whole point of why we were volunteering to do what we did.
One particular family stands out. We were delivering in Weymouth, and it was a woman with her daughter. And it's early morning, you know, she came downstairs, was on the second floor, and she was just like, no, you know, we were giving her the food and the presents, and she was like, I have something for you. But she ended up coming downstairs with a little letter, a letter from this little girl with a picture in it. And in the letter, just to give you a synopsis, it just basically said, thank you. And I want you all to have a picture of me, but I really appreciate the gift that you're giving us. And this is a little girl. She's only like 8 years old.
Josie, age 4, she got a Barbie doll. You're gonna wrap that gift, put Josie a sticker on the present, and put it back in the bag.
So this is great that we're getting together to help another group of families who are strangers to us, who are in need of our help. And again, thank you for coming out. Our kids needed help. A different kind of help than the kids we were delivering to, but just as much of a need for that help. Because we had such success and we got to so many people, but yet we still found out there was a need where there was so much more. When we did 50 families in a town, there was a need for 150. So we decided to create a 501c charity, getting more people involved. That this time we're going to have a board that's meeting all year round, that we're reaching out and we want to get corporate sponsors. We know people want to get involved in this. We know people want to get their children involved when it comes to wrapping and getting involved, because we know what the benefit is back. We know there's a lot of people out there, but it's now our responsibility to push this a little further, and that's why we're looking for people's help.
Finish